What's going on, guys? It's Jono here. Welcome back to Meeks Munchies. I probably shouldn't be sliding in with these knives because these are razor sharp. We just bought this new set, so I'm gonna put these back over there so I don't go chopping myself up. Okay, so today we're gonna be making Choc peanut butter protein bars. This recipe makes 8. I will have all the macros up here for you. Recipe will be in the description alongside with the calories, the macros as well, if you didn't want to look there. So anyway, for this particular recipe, what we're gonna need is 1 cup of oats, 2 scoops of protein powder, 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, half a cup of milk, 1 cup of peanut butter, and 3 tablespoons of honey. That is all you need for this. Generally, you will find that in your own pantry. If you're into fitness and health, you'll probably have all of these ingredients. If not, it's not too expensive to go out, buy yourself some. So let's get cracking. So to begin with, you want to add the milk, the peanut butter, and the honey all into one bowl. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Dropping shit. So for this recipe particularly, I'm going to be using almond milk, just the one from Coles. I prefer using almond milk. You can use regular milk, skim milk, oat milk, soy milk, whatever milk you want. It's up to preference, up to calories, up to what macros you're trying to hit. Obviously it will change the fat count, the calories total, protein, bits and pieces depending on what milks that you use, so you all probably already knew that. So let's go ahead and add half a cup of milk to our bowl. Next up, let's add the peanut butter. So I'm going to be using Mayer's dark roasted peanut butter for this. It is probably one of my absolute favorite peanut butters to get, along with the other ones that they have. But I find the dark roasted one, it's just tastes so much nicer and has more of a peanut buttery taste to it. So let's go ahead and add 1 whole cup of the peanut butter that you're selecting. Now, I don't recommend using peanut butter powder for this recipe because the peanut butter in this is actually what helps bind it together and keep that consistency right. So this is not a recipe where your peanut butter powder can be substituted for the peanut butter, unfortunately. All right, so now we add the peanut butter in. Nice. Nice. All right, so next up is your honey. Don't forget to support your local honey farms and go buy theirs. Don't buy the ones from Coles, as these ones are much better. So shout out to all the local honey farms because their honey is a lot better, a lot tastier and better for you. So make sure that you go get theirs. So 3 tablespoons in. Now that you've got the milk, the honey, and the peanut butter into the bowl, what you want to do is you want to head over to the microwave, throw it in for 15 seconds. Now, only 15 seconds to begin with, then give it a mix around, and then we'll be putting it back in for another 15 seconds. All right, so that's 15 seconds in so far, so now we'll give it a mix. You want to be careful because if you put it in for too long, you will burn your honey, and it will ruin the flavors that you get because it will taste burnt. So give it a good mix. You can always mix it again once you've done the second batch, but this is just so all the hot spots that the microwave creates doesn't just continually burn the same spot. So it is mixing through fairly nicely now. It takes a little bit to get in there, so you just want to keep mixing it until it's sort of all blended together before you put it in the second time. So we're going to go chuck that in for another 15 seconds. So let's go do that now. All right, so that's the next 15 seconds. Just keep giving it a good mix. You really want to get all these ingredients blended together before you add the rest of the stuff, because otherwise it becomes so much harder to get this stuff unclumpy. So get in there, mix it around nice and well. That's what mine's looking like. Still a little bit clumpy, so I'm going to keep mixing it just for a little bit longer. All right, that's looking pretty good now. So put that there. And now what we want to do is we want to add all the rest of the ingredients. So we'll start off with the 2 tablespoons of the chia seeds. Followed by the 1 cup of your rolled oats. Now, for this recipe, you want to use rolled oats. I guess you could probably use your quick oats, which are sort of a lot smaller. It's like they've been blended up already. You can probably get away with those. Obviously, it just won't be as like, when you're eating it, it'll just be a lot smoother as opposed to having the sort of texture that you're looking for. All right, so next up, you want to be adding your protein powder. Now for this one, you want to have chocolate protein powder. I like to use anabolics as my go-to. I find that it is a nice sweet protein on its own without having like all those extra calories. So this is definitely the go-to for me personally. There's no sponsorships or anything like that here. It's just, this is what I use for the recipe. This is what I find works the best and tastes the best for the things that I do cook. So 2 scoops of chocolate protein powder, put that in, and then give it all a mix together. Now while you're mixing it, it does start to get pretty stiff, but you just gotta battle through and just continue. You don't want to stop, otherwise it'll start to harden even more on you, so just keep going. You might break a few spoons, but hey, it never hurt anyone. Alright, so we're looking pretty mixed together now. It should look like that. It's sort of like a little bit of a batter in a way. So once you get to that sort of consistency, as you can see, like it's sticky, but it can still fall apart. That's what you want it. Focus. So that's the consistency that you sort of want it to be like. A bit of a battery, sticky, but still falling apart. So that way when you compress it together, it'll all hold very nicely. So next up, you want to get yourself a small tin, just a little one, nothing spectacular. Just get yourself a tin that you can put in the freezer, freeze it, and pull it back out. So next up, you want some baking paper to line your pan with, so that way it doesn't stick to that, because otherwise you've got to clean up a huge mess instead of just pop it out, throw the mess in the bin, and off you go. From here it's pretty simple. Add the mixture to your container of choice. Now once it's in, just press it down, make it fill it all out, make it nice and flat, firm, and then, yeah. And now once you have it all inside your tray, from here, throw it in the freezer for 15 minutes and let it harden up. All right, so once you've finished inside the freezer, so these have been 15 minutes. This is currently them, got my 8 pieces. So they are a little bit chewy. You might want to leave them in there a little bit longer depending on the temperature of your freezer, if it's some are a bit colder than others, but I mean, it should roughly come out the same. So this is what you've got. You've got 8 decent slices, so it's perfect for just like your week's meal prep, to just have a quick snack on. So yeah, anyway, taste test. That is straight up heaven. Beautiful. Hopefully you did come to enjoy today's video. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button. As always, comment any feedback that you have down below, any recipes that you might want me to try out, put a little twist on to make it a bit more proteiny and healthy as a bit of a snack for you all. So don't forget to try to cook these, well, whip them up yourselves and have a go at them, see how they taste. They are absolutely amazing. If you're new around here, hit the big red subscribe button for more content every single week. And anyway guys, stay juicy.